Each year, on the third Monday in January, our nation celebrates the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one of the most prominent leaders of the civil rights movement. Hi there, I'm Theo Dorsey, your host for the Palm Beaches TV Watch Party series, now premiering on YouTube every Tuesday at noon. From 1955 to 1968, Dr. King challenged racial discrimination and inequality by leading nonviolent protests, demonstrations, and boycotts. His dream to lead the country towards freedom and justice for all is a reality still being fulfilled today. On the Town in the Palm Beaches with Frank Licari takes us down the Flagler Drive in West Palm Beach, Florida to see the evidence of the monumental impact Dr. King's legacy has left on our community.
Let's meet a woman who has followed in the footsteps of her father, standing up for civil rights. Edith Bush is the strong force behind the Martin Luther King Jr. Coordinating Committee, working decade after decade to make the community a better place for all.
We've been around for 41 years.
Now talk to me about what it took to get this specific site, because this is so special.
In the year 2000, this area here was not being used. And at the time, we organized as the Martin Luther King Coordinating Committee.
Obviously, you could have just put up a statue, you could have just put up a little plaque. This is grand. Your family has a storied history in the civil rights movement.
Yes, my father was very involved in the civil rights movement. He was the president of the NAACP in Andalusia, Alabama. And he was a deacon in his church, and my mother was a missionary, and we grew up in a very close-knit Christian family. That's how I got very active in the movement.
That is incredible. What a history.
We were part of the Black Educators Association, and we were always celebrating Black History Month. But then in 1983, when Ronald Reagan organized the holiday of Dr. King, then we were able to organize events. Our organization started in 1971. Initially there were educators, but now we have doctors, lawyers, ministers, and it's very diverse. We honor a Black History Month every month, really.
Right.
During the month of January, where we have our breakfast, and we have had over 1,000 people at the breakfast at the convention center.
So this committee, starting in '71, has just grown and grown and grown. And how many people are part of this organization now?
We have approximately 60 members on our board.
Amazing.
Yes, and they are incredible. In Palm Beach County, I served on the Leadership Coalition for over 20 years. There are 87 nationalities in Palm Beach County.
Wow, that's a little nugget I didn't know. Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Wow. I got to tell you what. Mm-hmm. I love talking to you. I could talk to you all day. Do you know why? Because you exude passion.
I love talking to you too.
It's a pleasure.
Yes.
Real pleasure.
All right. Same here.
The Dr. King Memorial is open to visitors daily. MLK Day was first approved as a federal holiday in 1983 by former President Ronald Reagan and later declared a state government holiday in 2000. On this day of service, people are encouraged to honor Dr. King's legacy by celebrating the diversity that undergirds our American culture. Next, we travel to Royal Palm Beach and visit the MLK Day celebration put together by a nonprofit organization in the Caribbean American community.
For over 20 years, the Caribbean American for Community Involvement nonprofit has provided resources and sponsored events that bring together different ethnic groups in the community through a partnership with the village of Royal Palm Beach. The goal? Celebrating our diverse heritages and building stronger community connections together. We're lucky to have the mayor here with us, so tell us a little bit about how the partnership with the organization works. And
what is the MLK Day celebration, Martin Luther King Day? We thought it was important for the community, not only in the village of Royal Palm Beach, but all of the Western communities, to have that day of recognition. Capsize said, look, we'll do all the hard work if you guys would just give us the venue. This event has just been incredible. The other thing that Capsize suggested to the city says, we'd like to do something to acknowledge and embrace the diversity in our community. Out of that was born Cultural Diversity Day. How many years now? Is that almost 20 years?
20 years.
You've been around a while.
Yeah,
You've been doing this a long time.
They actually get different segments of the population. The whole point is to share their heritage with everyone else, share their talents and skills, with everyone else. And these are the things we do. These are the kind of dances we do, the kind of music we do, and more importantly, this is the kind of food we make.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, food's number one.
Food is very important. That diversity is our strength.
Yeah.
That's part of what really makes this community what this community is. It's a strength, and we like to acknowledge it, and we like to make everyone included in that, and being able to share that.
Before his time as a nationally recognized activist, Dr. King was actually a pioneer of change within his own community through his church. Now, churches have historically been used as a safe space for those seeking spiritual refuge in the midst of political unrest, and also doubled as schools, providing formal education to children who were isolated due to segregation laws. Let's visit the historic Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church to find out more.
This is one of the oldest churches in Palm Beach County. Its roots go back to 1893 when the Payne Chapel AME Church opened its doors in an area known as the Sticks. That was the cheap temporary housing area for the African Americans building Flagler's Hotels and Railroad. The church moved west in 1925 to a new building designed by the city's only black architect, Hazel Augustus. It was a popular spot. Right around the same time, the Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church opened next door, and both churches continue to serve the community. Sometimes when you go into a church, it's just a church until the congregation shows up, right? But this one, you walk in and it has an immediate spirit. You feel an energy when you come in here. I'm going to start with the pastor. What is so special about this church for you?
One of the really unique things is this was the first site for school for African American children here in this place. And so this church has always had a feeling and a passion for education, and also for social justice, and for those kind of things that made a difference.
Dorothy, tell me the role you play in this church.
I was born in this church. Back in the days when I had to come to church 4 times a day.
That is faith on overdrive right there.
I saw the building of this church when I was a girl, when the men were on the scaffolds putting those bricks up.
That's got to be an interesting feeling, coming to church every Sunday, knowing that you've been here through all of its history, right?
90 plus years.
90 plus years. Wow.
The day kids can say, I don't think I feel like going to church. That was not part of it.
Right.
When you woke up, you knew
Sure.
that on Sunday
Right.
you were going to church. And you didn't mind it because, as I said, you got to see people that you wouldn't see
It was home.
all the time.
It was home,
It was
right?
always home.
This is the highest point in Palm Beach County, and so that kind of gives us a uniqueness also. Everyone knows about the house on the hill. That's
Yes.
what Tab is.
There is so much rich history here that we can all be proud of. We invite you to explore more of our cultural offerings available here in the Palm Beaches. Visit thepalmbeaches.tv to watch the full episodes of the shows featured on today's watch party, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for your time today. I'm Theo Dorsey, and I'll see you next week.